Good morning. Class of 2018, you'll have to excuse me for just a minute, but I'm going to step to the other side of this podium so that I can look your parents in the eye and talk to them directly. It's a habit from when I was a kid when my father always said, look me in the eye when you're talking to you, okay? Notice how I squared my corners to get around the podium. Skill set 36 years later still comes in handy. United States Maritime Administrator Janikin, Superintendent Admiral Ellis, Captain Kennedy, Commandant, Dr. Coomer, Academic Dean, thank you so much for the honor to be here and administer the oath. My visit has been wonderful. It's a real honor and privilege to be here, and I cannot begin to tell you how gratifying it is for me to be here to execute the oath to the class of 2018. Parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, family, friends, other relatives. It was really fun for me yesterday afternoon and again this morning to walk around and engage some of you and see the bounce in your step and the smile on your face. I can tell you are overjoyed with where your young man or woman is today. And you do indeed have a lot to be proud of. You fostered an environment in which your young man or woman could excel to get to this place today. And I know that at times it was a long, hard road. You were there at birth, holding your child for the first time when he or she had no personal history and every single thing in life was in front of them. You were there for the first steps, the first words, that agonizing day when you had to drop him or her off at preschool for the first time, when the training wheels came off the first bike, the first base hit in t-ball, the first goal in little kids soccer, and then you fast forwarded through the first cell phone, the driver's license, the drama associated with the high school prom, and maybe a curfew violation or two. But on the whole, you did a magnificent job, and we thank you. And it's not lost on any of the leaders here what's happening today. You are giving us America's finest sons and daughters. And I know, having talked to Admiral Ellis and his team, that they don't take that lightly around here. And everyone, from the excellent academic faculty to the leadership team with the Commandant, all under the steady hand of Admiral Ellis, will work extremely hard every day to earn and maintain your trust, so that your sons and daughters can continue a very professional and a very positive trajectory through their 4 years here at this great place called Kings Point, and go on to have a very successful career upon graduation. Okay. Thank you for what you did. And it's our turn now. And excuse me, but I'm going back to the other side of the podium. Class of 18. Some straight talk. 4 years from now, you may not remember me and what I said. I fully recognize that since July 2nd, your life has been on fast forward. It's a blur, and this event may just merge into the background. You graduated high school with about 3.2 million other young men and women. Less than half will get to go to college. For each one of you standing here, there are 9 outside the gate. that did not make the cut and did not get accepted. There is a battle standard here which you'll become intimately familiar with during your 4 years at Kings Point. And every time you encounter it, you will render a smart salute. And while you do that, I would suggest to you, think about what standard you will set as an individual and what standard pulling together your class will set as a whole. I'll offer you 2 pieces of advice, and then we'll get on with your oath into the United States Naval Reserve. When I was in your shoes 36 years ago, an ordinary seaman, and I stress ordinary seaman because you just never know where you're going to get some of the best advice in your life. But an ordinary seaman on a Sealand container ship pulled me aside in the gangway one day and he said, "Young man, don't screw this up." And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "You're young, and I just want you to realize the special opportunity you have in front of you." Obviously, as an ordinary seaman, he was using some colorful language that I won't use here in front of your moms and dads. But he reminded me that I was attending a world-class institution and that I would leave with not 1, but 3 amazing tickets when I graduated. A college degree with all of the knowledge that represents. A license as a merchant mariner, which opens so many doors. And of course, a commission in the armed forces. And he stressed to me, appreciate that every minute, load up that degree and that knowledge behind the license and your leadership development for a commission to the maximum extent every day, and don't screw it up. It was some of the best advice I ever received. It has served me well, and I share that with you now. One other piece of advice before we administer you your oath. Every once in a while, remember to call your mother. You like that, Mom? Give it up. Class of 2018, it's time for your oath. All military personnel, attention to the oath, please. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. I, having been appointed a midshipman in the United States Navy Reserve, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I take this obligation freely. Without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. Welcome aboard, shipmate.